Your character's fantastic.
Thank you.
I love, because at first I couldn't figure out exactly where you were going with your character, but I love the flirting and the teasing that goes on with Gabriel.
Oh, Gabriel,
yes,
heartbreaker.
Yes, it was because
he never put out.
It was great. So, how did you go from kind of being reoccurring to you're pretty much regular now, right?
I'm still recurring, but it was a progress of the writers writing more and more material for me, making the character more integral. So it always starts with the creator and the writer,
Well, where do you want to see your character go?
That's a good question. I think we're taking some really interesting directions and getting to see his more emotional side, and I think that there's always going to be room, should the show continue on, to have him be more involved in the solving of the crime. In terms of, there's been times I go into, the main office and I participate in, the murder board and all that. So it'd be fun to be a little bit more involved with the guys in that environment.
When you were talking about more emotional, I just realized what you were referring to, which was the scene with the child that was dead, and you kind of came out the room. How did you do that scene? What was involved in that?
I gotta tell you, I prepared to cry, and I was asked not to. So that was the interesting thing. I was like, wait a minute. I had crying ready to go. They wanted it to be more like past that point, which it turned out to be more effective, because then the audience can really have the emotions. I think there's something very disturbing about seeing a doctor completely grossed and freaked out about what you know what I mean? It's like seeing a doctor who's a person of authority beyond emotion and just like sickened, I think was the ultimate goal on their part, and I think we accomplished it.
Oh yeah, I was moved.
Yeah, see? You were moved. I wasn't crying, but you were.
Yeah, it was
but it helped to have the emotional work underneath it as well, because, you got to realize these guys are seeing this every day, and every once in a while a case comes along that hits you,
Well, is there any, I know you have a lot of scenes with Brenda Lee.
Lots.
Is there any other character that you would just like to have a scene and gross them out, or do something with your character where you get to interact?
If I get to work with her every time, I'm very, very happy. I've actually gotten to work with pretty much all of them to some degree or another. Some don't come into the morgue, but I've been to them. So no, it'd be fun to do a little bit more with Mary.
That's what I was just asking. I was like, did you have a scene with Mary?
Yeah, we've had several scenes with Mary.
Okay.
I've had several scenes with Mary. I'm snarky to her too. So I think it'd be fun to have more of that. This new relationship with her.
So what are you looking forward to the most in the spinoff?
Working with Mary would be, more with Mary would be fantastic. I'm assuming she's going to pick up most of the mantle in terms of the cases, and we'll be at the morgue a lot more than she is now. So that'll be fun to have a new friendship and explore a new relationship with her. And see where that goes. I mean, Brenda and I have come full circle from adversarial to BFF. So
it's a really good role. I think you've really made it interesting, because that role could be very rote.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see his private life a little bit too.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I know I have a boyfriend named Kyle, which is actually my real partner's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was mentioned in an episode. So
my closure trivia is
it was a Christmas episode of last year.
Oh, I remember
where I was going to Palm Springs to meet his parents. Yeah. So it'd be fun to see who that is. See if that's still going on. I left Gabriel behind.
Now I'm heartbroken.
He rejected me. He wasn't into it.
I was cheering for that. I thought that was great.
That would have been awesome, right?
Yeah.
No, not happening.
How did you get this part, by the way?
I don't want to say it was written for me, but I've worked with everyone on the show. I worked on Nip Talk with Mike and Greer. I'm very good friends with James Duff, so he's known my work for a long time. I worked on his previous show called The DA, playing a coroner, interestingly enough. So it was sort of like the role was written and I read for it, but it was written pretty close to who I am, so I had a good shot at it.